The agricultural industry today that we know is constantly changing. It is our duty and right as an American citizen to know what is going on. The biggest issue with our day and in age is our global food security. The consumer today is more removed from the agricultural world than ever before, and people are not understanding this that we need change. Right now, the United States has the world platform to positively influence global views about genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms have been a topic of discussion for quite a while now. Since their release for commercial use in 1994, they have been a very controversial idea within the scientific community. Companies such as Monsanto have invested money and research into creating rice seeds that are drought resistant and contain increased levels of vitamin A. Monsanto then sends the rice to Africa or third world countries to help reduce starvation. But consumers here in America make the argument that these scientific abominations are evil and unhealthy when in fact they are helping save the lives of millions of starving people around the world. Since people are easily influenced by the internet and believe just about everything they read, lies spread like wildfires. Truths are deemed as bad, and people just don't know what they can believe. So when facts supported by science comes into play, the product must be unnatural and unpredictable. The United States is a first world country, and it is our duty to reach out and offer this technology free for humanitarian purposes. GMOs being grown and fed is a humane start to finding a solution, and the atmosphere surrounding the acronym GMO needs to be changed for the better of the consumers and producers alike. The world agricultural market will always be needed and valued. Numerous countries around the world have an agricultural-based market, or a large section of their market is designated to agriculture. Agriculture in the United States contributes roughly to $922 billion of U.S. gross domestic product. Then, when you bring GMOs into the picture, it changes everything. If GMOs improve yields by lessening the need for pesticides and herbicides, more crop will be available on the market at a lower price, which allows people to be able to contribute to trade. By simple logic, there is not a way that this is a negative idea. 40% of all global GM foods are grown here in the United States. So we have already started to make an impact around the world. The issue is just the continuous growth of these crops to increase yields and contribute more to global markets. With the introduction of GM foods helping improve yields on smaller acres, there's also another aspect that GMOs improve sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture is the future we are working towards with climate change rates at an all-time high. In the big picture, the United States is very wasteful with its natural resources. We run endless amount of water on crop ground that doesn't actually need as much water. The GMOs that are produced today are modified to be drought resistant and decrease the use of herbicides and pesticides. Droughts have been happening since Earth was created, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. So our solution to the problem is drought-resistant seeds that aren't as demanding for water. Then people have also had the argument that modified crops will turn harmful towards pollinators such as bees and butterflies. The pesticides attack the insect that feeds off the crop plant. This is a necessary option considering that the insects have always been an issue for crops in the United States. Invasive species such as boll weevil made its way into the southeast United States in the late 1800s and fed upon the cotton crop, costing the U.S. nearly $15 billion. Pests like this is what American farmers fear and why they turn to GMO crops that are genetically enhanced. And the scientists working on these crops found no significant effects to larval and adult honeybees after 6 consecutive days of whole hive exposure to 5 milligrams of glyphosate and sucrose solution. Science isn't a crazy concept that's going to kill the human race. It's keeping us alive. So why are the American consumers so self-conscious? Truths are hard to find, especially in the agriculture world. This should be changed, as we American people should recognize that GMOs should not be looked at with negative diction if it's revolutionizing the way we think about food production. When it comes to leadership in the industry, America should be in the spotlight.